One of the curious things about Big Pharma's lobbying effort is that they say there isn't the capacity in the developing countries and emerging markets. Well, that's obviously wrong because India is producing one of the largest producers, South Africa produces. But if there was not the capacity, then why not have the waiver? It's not going to hurt you. But the reason they're opposing it is very clear. They want restricted production because less production is higher prices. The head of Pfizer even gave a forecast of how high a price they hope to be able to charge. And when you have large volumes of production, that will bring down the price. But exactly what we want more production so that everybody in the world can get, you were just talking about, everybody now needs 3 doses. And in the developing world, in emerging markets, you're lucky to have 1 dose.
Yeah, less than 7%, for instance, in Africa even have 1 dose. Now, I have to give you the counter argument here, though. Many people say, look, this is not going to get more shots in arms in developing countries. That the view that we heard on this very show yesterday from former U.S. Commerce Secretary Gary Locke, and the head of Pfizer agrees with him, that the key here is to get those shots in arms. And if you do this IP waiver, there's just going to be a scramble for scarce inputs. What am I missing here, or what are they missing, you think, in their argument?
Well, what they're missing is a confidence in the markets. Markets will be able to ramp up production. I mean, actually, it's very impressive what Pfizer, Moderna, and the other companies have done. They were able to ramp up production very quickly to billions of doses, just not up to the billions of doses that the world needs. Now, market can solve most problems, but markets can't solve the problem of intellectual property. That's a legal problem. So what Pfizer is saying is they don't believe in markets. I actually have more confidence. There's no shortage of glass vials. There's no shortage of the underlying chemicals. Yes, it may take several months. This is not an overnight panacea. But if they had agreed a year ago, October, when this proposal was first put forward to have the vaccine waiver, we would have significantly more supply today. So yes, it's going to take a little while. It's not going to happen overnight. But why put an extra roadblock?
Yeah, and your point is made clear by the fact that we've had vaccines for a year, and so many different countries and people, billions around the world, still haven't had 1 dose. I want to turn, if you'll allow, to the economy now. The big word, inflation, right? Has the inflation in the economy right now surprised you in duration and scope? And what would you do about it right now?
It's not surprised me that there is some inflation. In fact, I wrote about that at the very beginning of the pandemic. I said, you're shutting down the economy. Economies are not used to being shut down. And when we restart the economy, there's inevitably going to be shortages. The shortages have been a little bit more widespread. I don't think anybody fully anticipated all the problems with shipping, and there was a little bit more confidence that markets would be able to solve these problems. I think we hadn't fully taken on board the full consequences of just-in-time production, where many companies didn't have inventories, and so you got a product that was needed for producing one commodity not being able to produce, and that giving rise to a shortage in another, and that giving rise to a shortage in a third. So it has been broader in scope, and that means, of course, it's lasting longer. But these are supply-side shocks. Very little evidence that it's a demand-side problem. That's when you use monetary policy. If we had huge rampant demand that was the underlying problem, then you raise interest rates, and that brings demand down. In this case, raising interest rates would be worse than the disease itself, because it wouldn't solve the problem of energy prices, it wouldn't solve the problem of the shortages, it would just create more unemployment.
Yeah,
So I'm afraid we're just going to have to live with it and hope that we have enough, a good enough social protection to protect the people who are most vulnerable.
Yeah, and it is a good point. The challenge here is trying to get to that inequity piece. I literally have 5 seconds left. JP Morgan predicts we'll have a full global recovery in 2022. You think yes or no?
In a word, yes. I hope so. But a lot of that is contingent on getting the disease under control. And that's contingent on things like the vaccine waiver, because Omicron is not the last
Gotcha.
mutation we're going to have as long as that disease festers.
Got you. Thank you very much. We have neatly come full circle in this conversation. Joseph Stiglitz for us. Appreciate it.